Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports and Our Football video, and today I'm going over my Week 10 predictions for the 2023 NFL season. I go over my predictions every single week on the channel, except I did miss last week. Last week I was much busier than I expected to be, although I did make some predictions, so we will start off with a Week 9 recap. In Week 9, I picked the Steelers to beat the Titans, the Chiefs to beat the Dolphins, the Vikings to beat the Falcons, the Ravens to beat the Seahawks, the Bucks to beat the Texans, the Rams to beat the Packers, the Saints to beat the Bears, Browns over the Cardinals, Patriots over Washington, Raiders over the Giants, the Colts over the Panthers, and the Eagles, Bengals, and Chargers winning. I had it pretty good this week. I had a pretty good week. I got the Steelers game right, and I was only 1 point off on the score for each team, so that was almost spot on. Chiefs-Dolphins, I had similar point differential, but I thought it would be a much higher scoring game. It was not. Vikings-Falcons, I had the correct margin of victory, but I was off by 8 points for each team. Ravens-Seahawks, I had the Ravens score right. I had the winner, but I had the Seahawks score wrong by about 30 points. Tampa versus the Texans, I had the Buccaneers winning in a 3-point game. They lost in a 2-point game. My score would have been right if that fourth quarter wasn't insane. Saints over the Bears. I had the Saints winning 27-17. They ended up winning 24-17, so that was my second closest score of the week. Browns-Cardinals. I had the Browns winning 23-13, and similarly to the Ravens game, I was close on the Browns score, but I was about 13 points off on the Cardinals score. Patriots over the Commanders. I had it as a 7-point game. It ended up being a 3-point game, but the Commanders were the victors. Raiders-Giants. I had a 22-10 game. It was 30-6. So about a few points off on each team. Raiders won by more than I expected them to. Colts over the Panthers. I had the Colts winning 34-20. They ended up winning 27-13. So I gave each team about 7 extra points. Eagles over the Cowboys. I was pretty spot on this one as well. I was about 2 points off on the Eagles and 4 points off on Dallas. For the Bengals-Bills game, I had the Bengals winning by 3. They ended up winning by 6, but it was a much more dominant game than I expected. And in the Chargers-Jets game, I was pretty close on the Chargers score. The game has not finished at the time of recording, but right now the Chargers are winning 20-6, and my score was 24-23. So I was close on the Chargers, but I was pretty far off on the Jets unless they score a couple more times before the end of the game. Moving on to the picks. Thursday night, we got a 2022 Thursday night football game right here. We got the Bears over the Panthers. 2022 Thursday night football games were horrendous. This year's Thursday night football games have been slightly better, but this one is in the dumpster. It could be a decent game. The Bears could score some points. The Panthers could score some points. We got some bad defense. We got some okay offenses. It could be competitive, but I think the Bears are going to win 24-20. I think it will be a pretty mild game. Not too much to see there. In Germany, we have the Patriots and the Colts. This is just me doing clear hopium at this point. There's absolutely no way the Patriots win this game. That being said, I will be picking the Patriots to win 20-19 over the Indianapolis Colts. I think that we're going to try our best to win in Germany, and I think that Bill Belichick is going to, go on the field and tackle somebody illegally, and it's not going to count for anything. I don't know. Moving on to Sunday at 1 o'clock. I have the Ravens beating the Browns, Steelers beating the Packers, the Jags beating the Niners, the Titans beating the Bucks, Saints beating the Vikings, and the Bengals beating the Texans. I think this has to be the most interesting slate of 1 o'clock games so far this season. There's only 6 of them, but we got one massive divisional game and a couple of really important games for playoff standings. Ravens and the Browns. The Ravens are 7-2 and the Browns are 5-3. I'm picking the Ravens to win this one in a close, high-scoring battle. I think that this will be the first time that the Ravens defense allows over 20 points in regulation to a team that's not the Arizona Cardinals. I think that the Browns offense is going to click for the first time in weeks. And they're going to somehow find a way to score some points. I do believe that they will get a defensive touchdown. I don't think the Browns are going to score 30 points offensively. I think there'll be some form of defensive touchdown in there or special teams score. But I think that the Ravens will pull it out in a close, high-scoring battle. Steelers versus Packers. I have the Steelers winning by 6. I think that Green Bay is going to have a decent week after their bounce-back victory last week over the Rams. But ultimately, the Steelers just have a better team. I think that the Steelers' defense is going to play phenomenally, and their offense will play good enough to win. Jaguars against the Niners, I have the Jags winning by 4. I think that the Niners will fall to 5-4 after losing 4 in a row. This is a bold prediction, but it's only because the Jaguars are the home team. If the Niners were the home team, I'd be picking the Niners, but they really don't look good recently, and I think that Jacksonville is just on a roll. This could be me being a victim of the whole idea of regressing to the mean. Statistics would say that the Niners should win this game and the Jags should lose, but I'm going to go against all logic and reason and pick the Jaguars in this one. Bengals-Texans, I have the Bengals winning by 7, 37-30. I think this will be a high-scoring game. C.J. Stroud is going to back up his amazing performance last week with another high-quality performance, maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns. I'm not sure, but I think that the Bengals will pull it out. Joe Burrow is going to look like Joe Burrow once again, and the Bengals are going to get one step closer to being back to where they belong. Saints-Vikings, have the Saints winning 18-17 in a defensive battle. Joshua Dobbs had a great game last week, but I think that the Saints defense is going to be able to do enough to contain them. And in the Titans-Buccaneers game, I have the Titans winning 34-27. I think that Tennessee's offense with Will Levis is a lot better. Tampa's defense really is not that great, and I think that there's going to be a lot to play for in this one for both teams, considering if either of them lose, they're kind of out of the playoff race. But I think that Tennessee, just as a more consistent team, is more likely to get that win if they need it, with Will Levis at quarterback. Moving on to Sunday at 4 o'clock, we got Falcons versus Cardinals, Lions, Chargers, and Seahawks, Commanders. I have the Falcons beating the Cardinals 31-20. Arizona is going to put up some points, but I think that the Falcons are going to have a good offensive game. They haven't had a high-scoring offensive game in a while, and I think that they're due for one, and they're going to get it against the Arizona Cardinals. With the Lions and the Chargers, this is my weekly 43-40 pick. I get one every single week. I have the Lions beating the Chargers in this one, and I think that they're going to bounce back from their loss before the bye week against the Ravens. I think that they need a win against a good team right now, and I think that they're going to get it against the Chargers. No defense will be played in this game. Seahawks-Commanders, have the Seahawks winning 34-31. The Commanders are not an amazing team, but they do put up a fight against a lot of good teams. The Seahawks defense has been questionable at best in a lot of games, and I think that the Commanders are going to have another decent game before the week after this week. Sam Howell is going to regress back to throwing 10 picks in a game. This one will be a close one. The Seahawks offense is going to bounce back from the Ravens game, but they will ultimately be able to fend off the Commanders in 60 minutes. For the Jets-Raiders game, I have the Jets winning 23-13 after their loss to the Chargers this week. The Jets have a pretty decent team this year with a dominant defense and a pretty sucky offense, but I do think that they will be able to defeat the Raiders in this one. The Raiders were able to have a good score last week against the Giants, but the Jets are a better team overall, and I think that their defense will be able to play supremely well in this game. Their offense will score some points, but I think that most of it's going to come from having good field position from Raiders' offense being bad. And last but certainly not least, we have the Monday Night Football game. I have the Bills beating the Broncos 38-14. This is one of those games where the Bills are going to show up and they're going to say, we aren't as bad as people think that we are by beating one of the worst teams in the league. The Broncos have showed some promise recently with their win over the Chiefs and some other decent games, but I think that the Bills ultimately are just the better team. They're going to win the game, and they're going to win it in style. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.